choosing between investing your savings and paying off debt can be challenging. Let's first define what investing in debt repayment means. Typically, investing is putting money into a range of assets with the hope of receiving a return, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, and businesses. On the other hand, paying off debt is precisely what it sounds like. With all available resources, you pay off any existing bills, including credit card balances, auto and student loans. Some financial experts, like Dave Ramsey, have promoted the idea that paying off debt is the best path to riches, but others maintain that investing is a much superior option for putting your money to work. Which strategy is actually the best one? We'll talk about which choice is ideal for you in this video. If this video is helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're interested in improving your financial future. The reality is that before you give either of these possibilities further thought, creating a solid financial foundation should be your top priority. Make sure that you have adequate money saved up for a rainy day. Emergencies do occur, and you may be left defenseless if you don't have any money saved up. Putting yourself in a position where you have to borrow money to cover an emergency is never a good idea. Consider a circumstance in which you are either investing your savings or paying off your debt when a financial emergency occurs. When you check your cash savings, you realize that there is nothing there since you have either invested it or used it all to pay off debt. This could result in a very dangerous financial situation where you have to sell your investments or incur more debt to cover your immediate expenses. However, when deciding to invest or pay off debt, there are two important considerations: your risk tolerance and the interest rate you are already paying on your obligations. It makes more sense to pay off high-interest debt first before investing because any investment returns are likely to fall short of what you are already paying in interest. In contrast to the average rate of return on the stock market, which has been at best 10% over the past 100 years, the average interest rate on credit cards is 22.37%. Therefore, paying off your debt before investing makes perfect sense if your interest rates are more than 10%. This is because whatever return you would receive from investing would be much less than the amount of interest you incur on these high-rate debts. However, if you have low-interest debt like student loan payments or a mortgage, using the extra money for investing might make more sense in the long run. There are several good reasons to pay off high-interest bills, but the one that may be the most convincing is its positive effects on your credit score. In the modern world, that three-digit number has a lot of power and can influence whether or not you're approved for significant purchases like a vehicle or house loan. It may also impact how much interest you'll have to pay on your debts. A low credit score indicates excessive debt and an inability to manage financial responsibility. This evaluation may stick with you for the rest of your life, possibly leading to increased insurance costs, or even making it more difficult for you to be approved for a rental. Before making any financial decisions that could hurt your credit score, it definitely pays to realize how important it is to have good credit. The first step should always be to pay off any outstanding bills as much as you can if you want to raise your credit score. Doing this will immediately reduce part of the risk involved in lending money. Show that you are trustworthy with your money, and ensure that all payments are paid on time. Make sure that the balances on each card don't approach the highest possible limit. Lenders become concerned when borrowers exhibit this kind of conduct because it suggests that they are having financial difficulties and may not be able to make their payments at any time in the future. The obvious question is, how do you go about doing so if you have some extra cash and intend to use it to pay off your debts? If you're fortunate enough to have enough money to pay off everything that is owed, the solution is simple: just pay it off. On the other hand, if there isn't enough money in the bank account, you'll need to devise a strategy. The fastest approach to eliminate debt is to start with the debts with the highest interest rates and work your way down. For instance, if you have two credit cards with balances that collect interest at various rates, say one charges 20% and the other has 15%, it makes sense to prioritize paying off the card with the 20% debt first. If you do this instead of trying to pay off both bills at once, your overall debt load will decrease more quickly. You can also take advantage of debt consolidation loans. This is basically when you take out another loan at a lower interest rate and then use that money to pay off your high interest rate loan. Let's now examine the second choice, investing your money rather than settling debt. Saving money for investments is an essential component of creating wealth over time. It also helps you guard against inflation because investments like stocks and bonds can increase in value over time, but cash held in a bank account typically loses value over time due to inflation. Investments often keep pace with inflation and occasionally outperform it, allowing you to maintain or increase your purchasing power as prices rise. Let's compare two scenarios. First, you have a total debt of $96,000, which is the average debt carried by regular Americans, according to Experian. In case 2, you choose to put $96,000 into a portfolio of dividend-paying companies with an annual rate of return of about 6%. In case 1, your objective is to make only the minimum payments required to avoid penalties, after which you'll try to pay off your debt with the extra $1,000 you're able to set aside each month. Based on this, it will take you around 6 to 8 years to give up your extra monthly savings to get out of debt. In case number 2, you make an investment of $96,000 with a 6% yearly return. If you continue to invest an extra $1,000 per month, you will have a total of $275,000. This is the amount you will have at the end of 8 years. This sum combines your original contribution of $96,000 plus your subsequent monthly investment of $1,000. So, at the end of 8 years, if you do nothing but pay off your debt, you lose out by almost $179,000. This is obviously a very simplified illustration that ignores tax, inflation, and other considerations like a market collapse, but it still emphasizes the need to invest your savings in amassing wealth over time. It is important to remember that when it comes to making financial decisions, the psychological aspects of the situation may be just as significant as the figures themselves. When making choices between debt repayment and investing, it is paramount to consider the emotional implications of your decisions. If you feel overwhelmed by the amount of debt you carry, repaying should be a priority to alleviate any distress or anxiety. It's important to remember that not everyone can cope with financial stress equally well. Hence, it's wise not to put your physical or psychological well-being in danger just for the possibility of a higher return on investment. Therefore, to answer the question of whether it is better to pay off debt or invest your money, it entirely depends on your situation. Having said that, it's also crucial to keep in mind that paying off debt is just one element of a bigger financial plan. Long-term financial stability and security depend on maintaining a balance between saving money for investments and making regular payments toward debts. A realistic assessment of your financial situation might help put this balance into perspective. Paying off debts should be a top priority if you have high-interest debt with no end in sight. However, if you have a sustainable debt load and sufficient savings, investing a portion of your money could help you achieve your long-term objectives. In the end, knowing your psychology and finances can help you with all the information required to make intelligent selections when deciding whether to invest or pay off debt. What do you think? Would you rather invest your money or pay off debt first? Let us know in the comments box below. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and give us a like. Also, please share this video with all your friends so they can decide which option is best for them. We'll see you in a later episode.